All right. So thanks again for doing this. My first question to you is tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you got started in the community.
So, my name is Marina Barbosa. I'm a licensed therapist in Washington, D.C. I specialize in women and children's mental health, and I help people recover from the effects of stress, anxiety, and trauma, particularly relational trauma and abuse. So, how did I find my way into the community? For me, it's always been that challenge and live experience brought me to my passion. As a child, I was diagnosed with a learning disability and then later with ADHD. I felt quite othered growing up. It's no surprise to me that my first career focus was the psychology of learning and behavior. I received my first master's degree in educational psychology, and I use that to educate and train students to help them develop the skills that they needed to excel in the classroom. Later down the road, after the first time in college, when I received my bachelor's degree, I became depressed and sought help from psychiatry. Unfortunately for me, I am one of the approximately 1 in 12 individuals for whom medication works opposingly. And instead of making me better, it made me worse. And I began a journey into and then out of severe mental health disability. With the removal of medication, I returned to wellness and was able to reflect on the profound impact mental health had on my life. And I decided that I wanted to pursue a career in mental health counseling instead, where I can provide a more in-depth support to individuals and a wide variety of individuals. So I started counseling for mental health and wellness at NYU, where I received my second master's degree in clinical training as a therapist. One of my most rewarding aspects of work has been to witness the transformative power of therapy. I am a sincere advocate for therapy. Seeing clients overcome their challenges and achieve their goals is, for me, incredibly fulfilling. And ultimately, my goal as a therapist is to create a safe and supportive space where my clients can challenge themselves to overcome their hardships. I believe that everyone has the opportunity to live their version of a fulfilling and meaningful life.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So my next question is like, what sorts of things do you do in the day-to-day? Because you said you help with a specific population, so I'm wondering what a little bit of details with that. Oh, what's the day-to-day like basically?
Sure, like a schedule or how do I help them? Like what methods do I use?
Yeah, the latter, yeah.
Sure. I'm an integrative therapist, so I integrate or blend a bunch of different methods. And I do this because I believe every individual is unique and every individual has a unique therapeutic journey. And the tools that I use and that they adopt should be tailored to fit their needs. So I blend from a variety of evidence-based approaches, not limited to, but at the cornerstone is CBT and IFS, and I can describe those later. But I don't only use these two methods. I also incorporate mindfulness approaches, value-driven approaches, relational approaches, solution-focused, and communication skills development. But at the cornerstone is CBT and IFS. CBT is cognitive behavioral therapy. And that's probably because I'm a classically trained behaviorist from my days as a school psychologist. Many are familiar with CBT. It's quite popular and it's very effective in the right circumstances. It doesn't work for everybody, I believe. But when it works for a client, CBT will help them identify and challenge thought patterns that are currently reinforcing emotional distress. And by reevaluating these thought patterns that reinforce the emotional distress, a person will be able to, like, naturally, the feelings and the behaviors will naturally change as a result. So IFS, the second method that I use as a cornerstone, is called internal family systems, and that's coming into popularity right now. It's coming into its own right now. It's very effective in helping individuals who have experienced trauma. IFS, internal family systems, works by addressing the different aspects or parts of self that are carrying unresolved pain. And by giving a part of yourself that is carrying pain, let's say a platform, so to speak, only then can a person then facilitate healing and integration. You can think of integration as like feeling whole, peaceful, or complete. So basically, we bring forth the part of you that is carrying pain, we let it express itself, and then a person will feel better, more whole, peaceful, and complete. Within this, I also, and many others do, hopefully they do, use trauma-informed care. Trauma-informed care is very important. And to me, a core piece of trauma-informed care is that individuals who have experienced traumatic events may feel unsafe and distrustful of people, right? Particularly authority figures or those who they perceive to be in authority space. Medical professionals can be that, teachers can be that. Anyone who is working with an individual with with trauma in their background, I hope prioritizes creating a space that is warm, supportive, collaborative, inclusive, think shared control, and letting the other person work at their own pace.
Mm-hmm. My next question is, what have people said about your work and like when they come visit you and like seek for like advice or like to solve a specific problem that they have, what have clients said about, you and like the way you approach things?
Absolutely. So people who come to me for their first session, they typically are feeling a lot of internal pain, distress, fear, and anxiety. They feel stuck in their life in some way, and maybe they don't even know why or how. And we work together to figure it out together and solve it together. After working together, clients have remarked that they gained insight that allowed them to approach the situation differently, that they receive guidance, support, and therapeutically challenged atmosphere. What does that mean? Therapeutically challenged atmosphere. That's an atmosphere that is kind, collaborative, but also stretches them in a way that maybe they couldn't do by themselves. And this allows for a fresh perspective and a creative solution. I have some testimonials on my website, counselingindc.com, and a common theme amongst the patients are she really listens and thoughtful insight. I receive those two a lot, listening and insight.
Yeah. My last question to kind of wrap this up is like, what can other psychologists, who are trying to enter your kind of field, what can they sort of learn to like you said earlier, make a space where, patients feel like seen, heard, so that it's like a really open, collaborative, environment where people can share their thoughts and feelings.
Um, well, I think specific on the collaborative care is that while professionals may have book knowledge or even practice experience, the person is an expert on their life. Ultimately, they know what does or does not work for them. And if they are feeling pain in any way, it's probably because something feels uncomfortable. And why does it feel uncomfortable? That's up in the air, but we need to respect that, right? We need to respect when it's not their time to address this issue or that issue. It's really I feel like us professionals, our job is to open the door for them, and then their job is to take a step forward if and when they want to. Um, I do feel like the general population is scared sometimes about not being able, scared and worried about not being able to change their situation. Um, I want to assure them that once a week therapy with the right therapist can provide invaluable tools to significant positive change. And while challenges are difficult and challenges are scary, it's the challenges that will help you define who you are, build the strength and endurance that you need to live the life you want to live and bring the most satisfaction and the most joy. When I think of new professionals like students, first and foremost, I congratulate them on the work that they do, the work that they're going to do. It's a deeply rewarding, but also demanding profession. And I don't think students understand that when they sign up. Probably a lot of the medical field is that way. I don't really know, but this profession requires a strong commitment to your own personal growth, tending to your own empathy muscle, and a willingness to continually adapt and learn. I think the first 5 years of practice can be particularly demanding. So when I talk to students, I encourage them to really prioritize balancing their own well-being with the well-being of others. Always trust your instincts and do what you believe to be best for yourself and your clients, because also after all this, like, it's also a business. There's the client, there's the therapist, there's insurance companies, there's community mental health centers. Like, it's it's complicated, but if you stay true to yourself, you stay true to your clients, take care of yourself, take care of your clients, you're going to find one of the most rewarding professions you've ever experienced.
Yeah, and your willingness, I might add, to want to enjoy, because oftentimes, like when people get into a career, they're like, It's not really my fit. It's not, I don't feel it's not really a fit. And all that kind of stuff, but it's about really enjoying what you do. Oftentimes people, they don't recognize that. So
Absolutely. I mean, it comes with its challenges and hardships as well, maybe measuring it. Are you 70% satisfied with your profession, or what amount of satisfaction do you want from your profession? Understanding the variability at the very least is 20%, right? You would never get above 80% satisfied with what you're doing in life. There has to be some ups and downs. So yeah, absolutely.
yep. All right.